Good morning everyone. We start right where we left off. If you haven't seen my introduction on Banyue combo or need some refreshment, feel free to check it out first. Here we are going to talk about the rotation target for Banyue Dialyn Lucia team versus Wandering Hunter. The rotation overview is 4 stun window with 2 Banyue ultimate on each stun. The 3 hard aspect of this fight on an ascending order I would say is the stun window rotation, which will become easier the more you spend time playing Banyue. The stun window timing, which is tough due to Dialyn physical attribute disadvantage, but regardless, she is still more than capable to achieve 4 stun with some asterisks. And the hardest aspect is Banyue resource management, his decibels and fire meters. We'll go over all of them as we go. First thing that I want to point out is how important this stun window timestamps is. Achieving them might need a good RNG with 4 or more defensive assists for days and decibels on each pre-stun. Dialyn best build for this 4 stun rotation, in my opinion, is full ER with ERD6 and 2-piece swing jazz. Dialyn already has an ample amount of impact stat from her core passive, and getting more of her third EX is overall will be more days in the fight, since her EX special's days multiplier is increasing from rock, scissor to paper. And Dialyn with her signature is the easiest setup for 4 stun window, but you may not need it. Fun fact, damage-wise, Banyue actually can kill Hunter with 5 cost no limited mindscape without the 30% crit damage from Dialyn's signature. But rotation-wise, getting 4 stun windows without Dialyn's signature is really hard, and may need high refinement Hellfire Gears, her best alternative engine. I don't have Hellfire Gears, and using Steam Off on Dialyn to get full 4 stun window on Hunter thus proves really difficult or almost impossible. And from some of my attempts on a 5 cost run with Manato engine Banyue or Whipping Cradle Lucia, it doesn't feel like that it's enough to get a kill. Maybe it's not possible for Banyue and Lucia's signature to be dropped here, or I'm not locked in hard enough. Which is tough for me because this video came out late because I initially lost my Banyue and his engine pool. If you are in the same boat as me, you might wanna know about NJGM. Pulling for your favorite characters sometimes need more pull than we have. Luckily, we can save money on our in-game top-up through NJGM. Alongside all these other games, we can use NJGM to top up in Zenless Zone Zero, using only UID and server, with various deals up to 33% saving on in-game top-up. Thanks to NJGM, I save a lot to get the poly to pull for Banyue and his engine. It's 100% safe and the process is fast. I use it myself. You only need UID and server without any password needed. If you are currently trying to pull Banyue and his engine, consider using my NJGM promo code in the description. By using my promo code, you will also get a bonus of my blessing for your pulls to get Banyue dispatch. In the beginning of the fight, Banyue hold basic to get her fire meter but don't get it to full. We just want a head start on the resource, but not start the rat state immediately. Lucia basic attack upon the ether field into the first pre-stun. Now the thing that we want to always keep in mind on every pre-stun is the next stun window timestamps and Banyue resources. In the first pre-stun, Banyue decibels and fire meter doesn't need to be worried about. So now we just have to get the first stun as soon as possible around 2:30. The flow is simple, yet may be variable due to Hunter RNG moveset. Keep Banyue basic attack whenever you're on him for adrenaline generation. Don't use his adrenaline too much out of stun, especially if his fire meter is already full. I will explain that further later. And the only EX specials that you need to use out of stun every now and then is Archshaker, as this is the one that generates the most. And you don't want to use his EX Wrath combo as it consumes too much adrenaline and the damage is not worth it without stun multiplier. Use Dialyn EX specials early to immediately get her signature passive stack up. Make sure she hits her EX paper to apply her stun debuff and defensive assist with her for the most days. Use every opportunity possible. The red flash is base phase with Banyue dodge counter followed by his immovable mountain to interrupt Hunter, so that Hunter will immediately change moveset into hopefully a yellow flash for defensive assist. I like to get one Lucia dodge counter in the first pre-stun so that her resource bar get depleted just before the first stun, so I can refresh it and not to worry of it running out mid-stun rotation. Pre-stun rotation is really dependent on Hunter RNG. Sometimes you might get really fast stun, sometimes Hunter is just standing there forcing us to reset. So my advice is you have to feel the fight for yourself to read Hunter movement and decide for yourself the best reaction to the move. There's a lot of solution. This is a bit late than the stun timestamp target, which may affect the next stun timestamp as well, but here we start our first stun at 225. With Lucia Moonlight buff, the stage buff through Immovable Mountain follow-up, and Dialyn King of Summit all refresh. This is the ideal condition to start a stun window that you want to aim every time, with all buff and debuff refresh for the next 15 seconds. I did a Banyue hold basic for an EX1 spat here, but this is not necessary, and skipping it right into Dialyn EX2 stun is arguably better for buff and stun duration. Before we go to the stun rotation, remember that I advise not to spend too much of Banyue Adrenaline out of stun before, because our ideal Banyue resource at the start of the stun is at least 2000 decibels and 60 adrenaline. Having half of Banyue Adrenaline at the start of the stun here will determine how easy we are going to get his fire meter full at the next pre-stun. And to understand the stun rotation decision, let's talk a bit about Banyue damage dealing priorities inside stun. At the top is his ultimate, followed by Toppling Mountain, and next his EX Wrath combo, both Lion's Roar Wrath and Tremor Wrath. And last is his chain attack. This priority list decides which attack needs to get stun window and full stage buff stacks the most. Yes, Mountain Tremor Wrath has higher damage multiplier than Lion's Roar Wrath, but in the grand scheme of things, using any of them is fine with minimum differences, and both has different optimum use case scenario. The Lion's Roar Wrath, the light EX, has an early cancel window, while Mountain Tremor Wrath, the heavy EX, has a late cancel window. Using Lion's Roar line is better if we want to immediately swap out to do something else in the stun, while Mountain Tremor line might take a while to wait for Earthshaker cancel window to progress. And in a stun window where every second matters, using Lion's Roar line might be better than Mountain Tremor just because of the faster input, except for one situation that we will talk about next in the stun rotation breakdown. We start with his chain attack, and during the animation, press the EX Earthshaker input. After we cancel the chain trigger, Banyue will automatically follow into Earthshaker animation, and we immediately input EX Mountain Tremor. We don't need to wait for the cancel window here, since in the Wrath state, Mountain might stack basically guarantee us perfect cancel even if we swap out of Banyue. This is the best usage of EX Mountain Tremor Wrath in stun. Lucia EX, because if you not use it here, her energy will overflow at the end, so why not? To Dialyn Hulk basic for Banyue ultimate, right the moment Banyue EX Tremor Wrath is done. Immediately input EX1 spat during the ultimate animation, prepare to follow it to EX Roar Wrath right after, then taunt cancel it into immediate Toppling Mountain at EX Roar's cancel window. Now let's stop a bit to talk about what just happened there. You might already know that Banyue EX specials can also be cancelled by dodge button to an Immovable Mountain. Maybe for example you want to parry attacks mid EX animation, and this also has a perfect cancel, with the same cancel window even though without the shiny perfect cancel flash. This also applies to cancelling Banyue EX animation with chain attack trigger. As long as you see the EX animation effect during the chain attack, then the EX Wrath animation is successfully connected. So if we do an EX Lion's Roar Wrath followed by hold basic for Toppling Mountain normally, there will be a noticeable length of pause until Toppling Mountain waiting for the Lion's Roar animation to be done. The idea is that we can cancel the Lion's Roar animation to execute Toppling Mountain immediately at the Lion's Roar perfect cancel window, which we cannot do normally. We can do that by cancelling it. Not with dodge, because it will just go to Immovable Mountain that can be followed to Toppling Mountain immediately, but with a taunt, a half circle plus dodge, which can be followed instantly to Toppling Mountain. After Banyue enter Lion's Roar animation, hold basic immediately, then input half circle command. And at the Lion's Roar perfect cancel window, press dodge to input the taunt, cancelling Lion's Roar, which immediately overwritten into the hold basic Toppling Mountain input. This is a really small optimization at play. But considering on the next part of the stun rotation, where we use Banyue own ultimate followed by double EX Lion's Roar Wrath, getting an extra half second to fit almost all of them is very worth it. And by the way, this is the reason why Banyue ideal adrenaline at the start is at least 60, so that at the last moment of the stun window, we will have enough to do 2 more EX Wrath combo that hopefully can fit in the stun window. And saving adrenaline from the previous pre-stun generated a good amount of fire meter for making the next pre-stun resource generation faster. Now there is an alternate stun rotation with 2 of Banyue chain attack, where instead of Dialyn immediately hold basic, she EX for chain trigger instead, then hold basic on a non-chain trigger after. In my opinion, damage-wise, this is not better than a single chain stun rotation. Depending on how tight your rotation is, the last attack might not hit the stun window, and unbuffed by the stage buff. Plus, we didn't spend the full adrenaline on stun. This is basically trading 2 of Banyue EX Wrath combo with his chain attack, which I think is not worth it. Then you have to consider that Dialyn hold basic on a non-chain trigger consumes more positive reviews, so you will have to mine on her resource generation more as well. I think the best use case of double chain stun rotation is when Banyue start the stun in less than 2000 decibels, just like in the last stun of this video, and using the double chain to generate more decibels for a full 4 ultimate rotation. First stun is done, we are now at the second pre-stun. This time, it will be buffered by a miasmic change. The reason why our first stun target is around 230 is so that after the first stun, we will have time to get some assist to generate resources and stacking stage buff on Hunter. If we get first stun too late, Hunter will immediately go miasmic, which will make the second stun window resources rough, because on the miasmic phase, we plan to get out of it as fast as possible by bombarding it with EX specials and ultimate. Notice here Lucia refresh her resource bar with her EX specials first before using her ultimate, so that her ultimate effect of Dream State Refresh will take effect later when this resource bar runs out. With a good luck, the miasmic phase will be done quickly. We run assist or dodge counter to start the stun with max stage buff duration, and we do the stun rotation just like the first stun window. Notice here I used Dialyn EX for King of Summit Refresh before Hulk Basic because we didn't start the stun with her EX. Now the third and the fourth pre-stun will be the hardest part of the run. This may be the most frustrating part to reset. We basically only have 20 seconds to generate full fire meter and around 2000 decibels for Banyue and stun Hunter for the next stun. We are really hoping for more than 4 defensive assists, with at least 2 is received by Banyue, and 2 to 3 Banyue immovable mountain perfect parry for fire meter generation. If you can get Banyue dodge counter, it will be really good. It is a classic tech of ZZZ combat of combining dodge counter with defensive assist at the same time. Banyue can also do this by using directional input while pressing dodge to differentiate it with immovable mountain. Banyue dodge counter generates 4 fire meter, a bit less than 6 of immovable mountain perfect parry. You might wanna do this over immovable mountain if you decide it's better to inflict this with Dialyn defensive assist simultaneously. I did make a mistake in the third pre-stun here. I didn't get a perfect parry here, which means it's a -2 fire meter. And after that, I swapped too soon for Banyue defensive assist and instead trapped in Lucia long assist follow-up. We get a bit late on the stun timing and stage buff duration, but alas, we persevere. Quick Banyue Lion's Roar for full fire meter to Dialyn EX, start the third stun. And lastly, the fourth pre-stun. The same deal like the third pre-stun, this is a really tight rotation of stunning and resource generation in less than 20 seconds. This time, you can spend as much of Banyue adrenaline as you want outside stun. We don't need to save adrenaline for the next stun. And if it comes to this, you should prioritize getting the stun before the fire meter full first. Banyue fire meter can be filled with chain attack, but if we get less than 15 seconds stun time, it's most probably not enough time to kill. As long as we can deal 2 ultimate on the last stun, hopefully it will be enough to end the fight. This last stun window also shows that you may also need to condition for an improvised Banyue rotation, which may be hard because you can't really use a memorized combo in some situation. Instead, you have to cook a combo input line directly. But that, I think, will come to you naturally the more you accustom yourself with Banyue combo input. And that's the breakdown. This is not really the best and the perfect Banyue combo rotation, but that's the point. My honest opinion, Banyue is really strong for this boss matchup. If all the stun timing and resource generation line up correctly. Is the rotation hard? I have to be honest, yes. This character may not be for everyone, and may need a lot of time to invest practicing the combo. Is the reward low? Not at all. You might think that this skill only happened to a perfect rotation and condition, but to be honest, nowadays, all boss skill is like that. There are really few room for error on a more than 100 million HP DA boss skill. And considering this is a 34 substat Banyue boss skill, this is actually really good. As always, I hope this video helps you and see you next time.